Okay, hi guys, welcome back. Welcome to Trader ZearthTrading's weekly analysis update. First of all, before we start, I'd like to wish a happy Father's Day to all the fathers who are listening to this video. Okay, so basically for the past few weeks, I've been saying I want to, cut this video short, and this week I'm really going to do it. So if we were to look at the calendar this week, the economic calendar, we can see that Monday is a public holiday, so there is no news, right? And Tuesday we have a little bit on the euros, we have a bit on the Great Britain pound. I don't think on Tuesday the USD news is going to impact a lot. So on Wednesday we have GBP and some oil inventory. For oil, I don't think we are going to see a lot of movements for now. So the important one is just the one on the GBP. So you should be aware if you're trading the UK 100. On Thursday, we have a very important news. So since we're in Malaysia, this is actually on Thursday morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. So I'd like to talk a bit on this FOMC statement. So for the past 2 weeks, I think we have been seeing a lot of swings, swings up and swings down due to this Federal Reserve interest rate decision. So what I can say is that a lot of people have been betting that the Fed will cut the interest rate. So the market has gone up on the optimism that this Fed will cut the interest rate, right? So one thing that is going to happen here is that if the Fed decides to keep it neutral or to raise the interest rate, then we are going to have a bloodbath. The market is going to drop, and all these indices, the US 500, the Dow Jones, and the FTSE is going to drop to a certain extent, right? But of course, if they were to reduce the interest rate as per the expectation, I think the market is likely going to be bullish. But at the same time, we have to remember the fact that the market has already priced in the prices, a week or two ago. So maybe the bullishness may not be that strong. But if, just take note that if the interest rate is not being reduced, you're going to see a surge of reaction from all these traders. Let's get to the charts. So basically the UK 100, let's take a look at the weekly chart first. If we look at the weekly chart, we can see that there is a pin bar form on the previous week, right? So this could be a signal to short, of course, a potential reversal, right? But bear in mind that, this pin bar is formed by the candle on Monday. Oh, sorry, on Tuesday. So on Monday the market goes up, it hits a pretty decent resistance, and then it drops a bit. But what we can see right here is that the market fails to drop below the 7330 areas. So what I would say is that before we can see the market move down below to maybe 7280 or 7240, there's a potential that the market is going to come back up here, the 7410 area, to retest. So there are two likely outcomes. The market is going to come back up here and go down further down to 7280 or 7240, or it's going to create a breakout. And if this happens, just long when it comes back to this 7410 area. So that's my view for the FTSE 100. Basically, I am pretty bullish on this index, but if I were to want to long, I will long around 7280 or 7240 area. So right now, to short it is quite risky because the chart is showing some bullishness over there. And to long right now is also risky because you are basically longing into the resistance, right? So without wasting any more time, let's go to the S&P. It's taking some time to load. All right, we're here. So the S&P is the same as the FTSE. We had a rejection on Tuesday. After that, it's been going sideways. We can say that this 2880 area is a pretty decent support, because we can see like pretty much a floor has been formed here, right? So we want to see what happens in the week ahead. It's the same for the UK market. We can choose to short at a 2911 area with a tight stop loss, or alternatively we can decide to long when it retests like maybe 2800 areas. I would prefer to long at the 2800 areas. And trading on the next few days is going to be pretty risky, because we're at like decent levels and we have news up coming on the Thursday, so we do not know how this market will react, right? Let's talk about Hang Seng. Hang Seng is a little bit different from the rest. So last week when I did my update, I said that Hang Seng is on a sideways, right? So on Monday, the market pushed up for whatever reasons. I did not check the news, but what I heard from a friend was that that there is a protest ongoing on in Hong Kong on Wednesday, and it actually triggered a sell down to this 27200 areas, right? But what I want to emphasize is that the 266 areas is a really strong support, and in the longer term, this this index is going to go higher. So if you really want to long, look for potential long areas around 26800, and control your sizing, keep your sizing small just in case if it drops below you can average, and just give it a month or two, it will eventually go back up to the like 30,000 area. Of course, if you would like to trade in, like day trade, you want to make some profit from the sideways movements, you can play between these two areas, the 2667 areas and the 279 area. So like you can just create put your chart layout like my chart layout, and maybe you can switch to the 4 hours chart. Use your basic trading instincts, use your entry signals. Like if you see it holds here from the floor, then you can go for a long. If it holds here from a ceiling, then you can go for a short, things like that. This is what you can do based on the current market composition, the current market scenario. So for this Brent oil, it's the same. I'm expecting the market to go sideways to retest between these two levels for a bit more, and I'm pretty bullish on this in the longer term. Of course, if it breaks the last defense, then we're going to see the price go down to 58 or maybe 56. It's going to go down pretty fast, but I do not expect this $60 mark to break for the Brent crude oil. So for this West Texas oil, it's almost the same. The last defense is going to hold pretty well. If it breaks, it's going to go to 48 and maybe 46. Things like this. So the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones is like the previous index. We are actually hitting a pretty decent resistance, and I'm still expecting a pullback before it continues to go up. So in summary, all the indices that we discussed this week, except the Hang Seng Index, is hitting a pretty decent resistance, right? In order for us to long, we need a little bit of pullback. If there is no pullback and you want to long, you can do so, but you do it in a lower time frame. You have to go fast in and fast out. Just day trading and stuff like this. If you want to go for swing, you should wait for the price to retest maybe 25300 or the 25600 region. For now, despite the chart showing some bullishness, I am not entirely bullish. I would prefer to wait for a bit, let the market tell me what to do, or maybe sit through the FOMC meeting and see what is the outcome before deciding on my next move. So that is all that I have for this week. I do not have any updates for Bursa. Maybe we can talk a bit on Bursa. We can look at a few semicon semicon counters. Yeah, I think if you want to trade Inari, you have to wait for it to retest this 1.35 areas, and you see if there is some support over here, you can buy a little bit. Then there is another one that I was looking earlier today. Okay, I was looking at Me Too earlier today. So what happened is that Me has hit a pretty decent support, and it's now doing a little bit of reversal. So for me, this is still a potential reversal. I'm still not seeing signs of a strong reversal incoming. So if I really want to buy into this counter, I would just look at the price around 1.56 areas, and if the price retests this area and it holds, I can enter a little bit. But there are too many overhead resistance up here. There's one here at 1.75, there's one here at 1.86, then you have one at 2 ringgit. So it really depends on how long do you want to trade, right? So alright, that's all I have for this week. Thanks for tuning in, thanks for listening, thanks for your support. Bye bye, see you next week.